What's up guys, welcome back to another video. This time we're back with the Panigale, and we're gonna be doing something that has been anticipated since I basically picked up this bike. Today we're going to be installing some Bonamici Rearsets for the Panigale. Guys, I did order the brake pressure switch that comes with this kit. To me, this is not going to be a full-on track bike. I'm going to be using it also mainly on the roads, so I thought that was a pretty important purchase that I needed to make. It was about 70 bucks, and I highly suggest it for those that are going to ride it on the street. But you know, to each their own, I guess. So we actually have 8 bolts to remove the bottom fairing. You have 1 on the side and the back, 2 at the bottom. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 that goes right there. For these bolts here, we're using a HW3, essentially Allen's. And for this bigger bolt here, we're going to be using this 4. Bingo. What we want to do, guys, is we want to remove the heel guard here, and we're going to be using a Allen 4 for this. This bottom bolt is extremely annoying. I guess if you don't have the 100% proper tools to get it out, but we're gonna go ahead and loosen the top as well, and then kind of work from there. All right, so now that those are loose, I'm gonna go ahead and loosen the linkage here. Just like that. And we're going to just leave that there for now. All right, now that we got both of these bolts loose, we're gonna go ahead and remove this screw here that holds our foot, where our foot goes to the bike. All right, so what you want to do to be able to rotate this piece here is you want to unlock that little bolt with a 10mm. Once you do that, that allows you to freely move the gear lever where you can get underneath and basically remove it. We're going to remove that with a 4 Allen here. Just like so. There we go. Okay, so here we have the Bonamici left side here. You have 2 options here. If you want to do some GP shift, you will select the bottom. If you want to do normal shifting, you will bolt it down to the top. In my case, I want to do GP shift. We're gonna go ahead and install it from the bottom, and we're also gonna use some Loctite, blue Loctite, for this part right here. So after applying some Loctite, we're gonna go ahead and tighten this sucker up. We're gonna go ahead and apply 2 of our bolts here down over here. Here comes the bottom bolt. Hopefully this is a little easier than taking off. Looks like it. You want to technically torque these down to 25 Newton meters. However, I did it pretty snug. With some thread locker, I don't see them coming off. Now we're gonna do our foot placement adjustment. In my case, I want to go as high as possible, given I'm only 5'5". All right. You do have to assemble your gear lever. It's not too bad, just take it apart, put this little, I'm just gonna call it thingy-mabobber inside, which then allows you to slide it back and forth to adjust your foot position, and then you screw in your foot peg, like so. Now we just adjust our angle that we want, our gear lever. For now, I'm gonna leave it right about there. Seems like that's a good position, and I'm gonna change it as needed. Then you're gonna grab this guy here and just gonna start. I'm gonna screw it by hand first. All right, guys, we have officially finish the right side of the motorcycle. A few things to note: if you want to make sure that you are shifting in GP shift, don't attach it to the one up top. There's also a spacer that goes behind that bolt that I forgot, and if you don't put that spacer, the bolt that you connect it to, when you shift, it will get jammed, and you won't be able to move it until you put that spacer back there. This is kind of what I get for not really reading the instructions and kind of just trying to figure it out as I go. But after taking this thing apart 3 times, yes, I had to do it 3 times, unfortunately, we've got it figured out. Other than that, it looks freaking awesome. Just have to put the rest of it back together, and we'll start on the other side. We are now on the brake side of the install here. First, we're gonna go ahead and remove our zip ties that are holding all these cables together. What we're gonna do is, once we unhook that, we're gonna follow the line and we're gonna disconnect the brake connector for the rear brake. Like I said, I ordered it, but unfortunately they didn't have it in stock, so they are gonna send it later. But for now, we're just gonna run it without it, especially for this fun weekend that's gonna be coming up. So for now, let's go ahead and get started. Oh my God! Almost destroyed my hand. Oof. All right, next thing you wanna do is remove these 2 bolts right over here. So what this is going to do is it's going to allow us to get in here and fish that connector out. We'll need that again, so make sure not to lose that. But now that is nice and free. Okay, so now we can go ahead and fish that line out. So you're just going to follow it. You're going to find that line. You're gonna pull it as I'm doing here, right over here. You also have to remove right up here this little Torx guy. Oh, you guys can't see it. Right up here with a Torx. In this case, it's a T40. Don't forget to remove the bottom fairing, as we have to pull this guy out to get to that brake, the brake line. The electronic brake line, I should say. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one up front, 6, 7. Just like so. After using a handy dandy flashlight, we were able to pull that brake connector off, as you can see. We're gonna go ahead and loosen these guys here. Then we want to remove the heel guard. So it's almost impossible to get inside of here to remove the foot peg. So in order to do that, you have to go and remove this piece right here that's dangling. And we'll do that by grabbing an Allen, going behind, and very patiently turning it. It's done, it's out. This thing is very annoying. So we are going to need the pin that comes on the brake side, as well as we're going to need the spring. So we're going to go ahead and use a Allen 6 here, and we're going to go ahead and just remove it. That way we can get to this bolt here and remove the pin. So now you can pull this guy out. Don't need this anymore. Now what we need to do is get this pin out of here using another Allen here. You got the pin. Required. Focus. It's not focusing. All right, at this point I removed the little rubbery part from the brake pin where that goes by the spring. We're gonna go ahead and reinstall our reservoir here. Also going to go ahead and reinstall our 2 little bolt screws here that were up top. At this point we're also getting ready here. We're gonna install the main bracket for the right side, just like so. But first we're gonna add some blue Loctite to it. Alright guys, so now you want to take your brake side, assemble it together. Alright, so this may come off a little bit confusing, so I just want to explain it as I basically put it together. This right here is how you want to set up the pin with the guard up top. Then what you do is you proceed to grab this part, connect it to the top. You can bring this guy back some using your foot maybe. You want to grab your screw, slide it all the way through. Once you slide it through, you want to grab your little nut and put your nut on the back side here, like so. And I'm actually going to add a little bit of Loctite on this. Start tightening it down. The last portion, guys, what we're going to do now is add a little bit of thread locker to our adjustment bolt here at the bottom. I'm holding down the brake lever because you need to be able to properly screw this on. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Nice and tight. We'll see how that feels. All right guys, here is the final look of the install. These rear sets just look absolutely awesome. Thanks for tuning in the video and checking out the install on these rear sets. First time doing it and definitely learned a lot. It took me an unfortunate amount of time. It shouldn't have taken me this long, but it did. Needless to say, the bike is ready to go ride. I took it out for a bit just to make sure everything works, and it does. Everything works well and how it's supposed to. So that's what that's what we wanted. But I'd like to help you guys as much as I can. In the comments, just let me know what you think. Any questions you may have while you're installing, I will try to get to it as soon as I can on this install. You know the drill. Like the video if this helped you. Comment your thoughts. Subscribe for more of these types of videos, and as well as riding videos. And of course, you know the drill. Come ride with me. See you.